Alright, well this traffic, oh boy, it is rumbling. But anyway, I'm going to tell you about January 22nd, Tuesday, Pensacola, Florida. That run for DoorDash. And got people that are trying to park around me. So I'm keeping an eye out for that. Anyway. Alright. So I drove out to Pensacola and got there 4:55 p.m. And it wouldn't let me clock in on Dash Now until 5:30 p.m. So I picked up a Dash Now for 5:30 to 7. And 5:38, boom, poor folks, $6.85. Yeah. And then I got a Wendy's order that was far away, so I canceled it. Got a Panda Express order that was 10 miles away, I canceled it. And then I got a Fodenari's, whatever it is, that was 11-mile order, I canceled it. I got a Brassard's that was 12 miles, and I canceled it. And a lot of that is if they have a surge of orders, and there's just not enough drivers, they'll send you orders, whoever's the next closest driver. It's just the way the computer will run it. 6:10 p.m., I got a Kentucky Fried Chicken order for 10:15. 6:49 p.m., I got an order for Taquera El Asador, which is a taco truck at a gas station. And let me tell you, this place is slam-packed day and night in Pensacola, Florida, and they do an amazing business. But you get up there, you have to wait in line to order, and the line is huge. And there's cars just parked everywhere. It's like parking is really hard to come by. And it takes a while to get through that line. And then you order, and then you have to wait for the order to be ready. And so I got the food at 7:20. So I was there over half an hour to get food. Not a happy situation. But that place is slam-packed, and it always tells you if there's a lot of business, they must be doing something right. So I'm happy to see a taco truck doing that kind of business. I've never seen that in my life. Because I'll tell you, brick and mortar is so darned expensive to run a brick and mortar store. If you can do it in a taco truck, by God, do it. That way you can always change your location, and you know, your overhead costs are so much cheaper. But when you're doing a business like that, it might be better to get in brick and mortar. But anyway, then at 7:32, I got an order for Chen's Chicken Kitchen for $8.05. And then I got another one for Chen's Kitchen, which was 10 miles because I was at another location. By the time I delivered that last order, I was way over somewhere else. So it wasn't worth it for me to drive because I like to get $1 a mile at least. 9:43 Denny's for 7:46. Order was undelivered. The person called Denny's to give some other phone number to the driver. They wanted one of the staff to give it to the driver. We don't do that at DoorDash. In case you're a customer listening to this, we do not call or text other numbers than what comes up in the app. And that's because of scams and other things going on. People are using other people's credit cards. People are using other people's DoorDash accounts, charging food. And then they also do, you know, a scam where they'll call you back on your phone number, on your personal phone number, and try to scam you and ask you your password and all kinds of stuff. And anyway, that's just not done by DoorDash. But anyway, the numbers this year were all screen covered, so that if the the driver sends message to the customer, then it will be blocked, usually no longer than 20 minutes after the transaction's completed to, from order to delivery. Sometimes the computer doesn't work right, and it can take an hour and a half. And then also, for the customer, if they want to respond or anything by text or call, it will also mask the number and recycle, because they use a series of 650 numbers, and they just keep recycling them. So if you get a text message or something and it looks like this other order that you had a problem with, it's probably not, because they keep recycling the numbers that they use for masking. So it's most probably a different person. But anyway, that's how it's done. We don't call or text any other number than what's in that app. And that's just DoorDash regulations. It's for your safety, honest to God. Anyway, so I contacted the rep and let them know that the customer had attempted to contact the restaurant, which is a really big no-no. If you're ordering through DoorDash, handle all your business through DoorDash. Do not bother the restaurant people. That's how we get into problems with restaurants, where they get alienated because customers are calling saying, oh, cancel the order, or change this, or do this. And that's just not anything that they have time for. They're not being paid for that. It's between DoorDash and the driver. And the drivers can't cancel orders or change orders or any of that kind of thing. That's only DoorDash, the reps. So anyway, so I notified the rep, and I thought, that's shady. And usually they'll just cancel that order when they get stuff like that, because they'll try to call or text the contact number. When they can't reach them, then they usually will just cancel the order out, and then the fee goes to the homeless, and if you can't find a homeless, it goes to the driver, and you have to pay for it. So anyway, I had contacted the rep, and I went to the place, and it was a huge building. Huge building. It was like a big, high-dollar office building or apartment complex next to college, next to the dorm apartment buildings in Pensacola. I don't know that it was actually part of the college. But it is all secured. They had security guards all over, and it was a secured building. Couldn't get in. No codes, no nothing. And of course, the customer did not answer any text messages or calls. I set timer on that when I could not get an answer from the customer, because they didn't give an apartment number or anything else in the messaging, or a name of a complex. I tried to confirm with them, sent several messages, received no answer. Now, text messaging is really important when working for DoorDash. Let me tell you why. Because DoorDash reads those text messages, and they know what you say to the customer. They know what the customer says to you. They know if the customer does not respond. So make sure that's your footprints for your order to keep you safe with DoorDash, because it's actual physical proof that you were there, you tried to contact the customer, and all that kind of good stuff. And otherwise, don't do it and see what happens, because you're going to get in trouble for every order, and they'll just terminate you. They don't have time for all that. So leave those footprints, do those texts. So anyway, I set that timer. Timer's 10 minutes. And some orders it'll go 4 minutes. It just depends. And I waited there. There was a huge parking lot full of cars. I had to pull way at the back 40 because there was no parking. And this building was probably 15 stories high. Nice building though. I don't know if it was offices or resident. I wasn't quite sure. And so 10-minute timer goes out. DoorDash rep calls like 3 times to me about it while I'm driving, and I'm not answering any phones, DoorDash, while I'm driving. It's not happening. Just not happening. Then that was the end of that. And God, there was a ton of food that we gave away to the homeless that night. Jesus. truckloads of food. But that'll teach the customer, if they use somebody else's account or somebody else's credit card or what, it only takes a few seconds to change your phone number on the app. And it only takes like 3 seconds to add a new address on the app. You can add a whole bunch of addresses on there from all over the states, and it's not a problem with the DoorDash food ordering app. You just got to go do it. It just takes moments to update your account. So, anyway, that was the end of that dash now. I did 6 hours on that dash now. $39.64, but most of it was held up by that bad order. I started a new dash at 10:22 to 11 p.m. dash now. It had really short increments. Unfortunately, I don't like those like half-hour deals. And I did a Whataburger order at 10:50 for $9.42. And in the dash was 11:30, so that was an hour. I started a new dash now, 11:30 to 12:30. Did absolutely nothing. Clocked out 12:45 because I just wasn't getting any orders. And that was the end of that. That was a 0 with an hour and a quarter on that shift. So on that day, I got a total of 8.25 hours, sales 49.06. Now that's a really slow day. And that was the end of that. So drivers, please make sure to text, leave that footprint with the customer. That is your proof to DoorDash. It is stated in the website and the DoorDash videos that top drivers text customers. Okay? Yep. But I'm going to tell you, it'll save your butt. I had a problematic order one night, and DoorDash denied that I went. And no, that's not true. They got GPS, and yeah, the GPS fluctuates at times, depending on the signal area. It's that little white balloon up in the right-hand corner. Make sure that sucker is hot white, so you can get orders and they can track you. And it's for your safety, and so you can make money. They've got to have a signal to ping you at with the computer. But I had a series of text messages with an order that went very bad. And I think it was some kids using daddy's credit card and using a vacant house next door. And saying leave it on the porch. And not cool. I don't like getting caught up in all that drama. But that DoorDash did not believe I went there and everything. I said, well, why don't you look at the text messages? You can't see those? And they're like, well, we can. I said, well, then please take the time to review the text messages to that customer, because I delivered. I sat in their driveway, and I set timer on that order sitting in their driveway. They would not come to the door or anything. And by gosh, I'll tell you what, saved my butt, because I had very thorough text messages from beginning of the order to the end, and while waiting there. And that saved my butt, because they were going to contradict and say I didn't do what I was supposed to do. But I did, because I had proof of those text messages. Proof is in the pudding. So that's the moral to the story. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Love to you. Have a great one. And dash on! Catch that money tree.